Hey loves, it's Britt, and I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I'm going to do a series on each of the signs quincunx each other. So, like in this video, I'm going to talk about Aries, quincunx, Virgo, or in conjunct to Virgo. So, talking about the different manifestations of each of the signs in the quincunx aspect, because I feel like it's so key to understanding how to master this aspect if we have it in natal or if we have it in synastry, even understanding how to integrate these two energies, because that's the thing, is that they just don't understand each other very well. If we can really meditate on these archetypal sign energies and what they need, we can better express those planets that are in a quincunx to each other. So I'm going to go through starting with Aries, quincunx, Virgo. So with this one, we're seeing the Aries need for like total freedom and primal self expression being hindered by Virgo's need for like a plan of action, detail oriented, being overly critical. So, this can show that there is self criticism blocking that primal expression of the Aries energy. But it can also show that the Aries energy, because it's a two-way street, it's not just Virgo blocking Aries, it can also show that the Aries energy is going forward without consideration to what the Virgo energy needs, which is like structure and a plan and a routine and consistency, right? Even this quincunx can show health problems because of the Aries planet's impulsive actions without thought of consequence, and Virgo's need for things to be more orderly or even more healthy, because Aries, even though Aries are associated with being very healthy, it's the first sign, they usually have a strong, like robust, like body, they can get into trouble with their health through just being impulsive, because Aries energy wants what it wants in the moment and it wants it now. And Aries will often not say no to themselves, right? Especially if we've got kind of an Aries Taurus um, going on, like with both of those signs. Aries will often indulge and, not think about the consequences of, well, how is this going to make me feel later, right? And you could even see this with relationships. If we're having Aries in a relational planet, we could see Aries rushing into a relationship without considering all the facts of the person, Virgo, right? So this quincunx can show that we are hindered by that impulsive Aries action. But then on the other side, what can also end up happening, depending on which planet is stronger or what planet is stronger today, because that's the thing with the inconjunct aspect, is that we can kind of like be one without the other quite commonly, but we have a hard time being both at the same time. So, what can also happen is that this overly critical part of ourselves, or this part of ourselves that really needs order, and it could border on a bit of like when we are trying to like tone down the Aries part, we can feel like a bit OCD, like where it's like, okay, we need to, like, out of fear of maybe what we've done when we've allowed the Aries part to reign free, we can become like obsessive, hyper focused on health to the point of like being completely like insane about it, like, yeah, just being obsessive about our health, like hypochondriac, and also just even being so isolating from others because of not wanting to give of the self at all, because maybe we feel like we've given too much, and so kind of just isolating into the self, being overtly critical, yeah, kind of like OCD behaviors. And judgment of the self and others that is so severe that it is isolating, where we can judge ourselves as, not being good enough to have whatever that Aries planet wants. And we can also judge others as not being good enough for us, and then isolating from them as well. So it's a very interesting Quincunx dynamic, but it is actually kind of like the classic interpretation, because the classic interpretation of the Quincunx aspect is first to sixth house, Aries to Virgo, right? These are the first signs that are Quincunx to each other. So this is like the opening Quincunx. So it's a very sixth house sort of energy. That's why I mention the health issues that can kind of come up here. And also it can be issues with work as well, right? Just naturally with the sixth house connotation of this in our day-to-day work and our service, where maybe we're overly critical of ourselves in how we serve others, to the point of just wanting to do everything for them and being the like relentless, just giving and never taking a break, never taking time off, like just being so overgiving and so critical of ourselves, like never good enough, always wanted to improve, self-improvement, which can actually lead to an interest in like self-help and self-improvement. But yeah, it can end up being just that we are so hyper-focused on where we still need to improve that we lack the confidence in the here and now with this Quincunx of Aries to Virgo. So we're either being like that, or when we're on the Aries end, we're being actually kind of inconsiderate of others, just doing what we want to do in our work and not really caring what they want or what people actually need from us. We just go about doing what we feel like when we feel like. And, part of that is good, because that pure primal spark of creativity that comes from Aries, because Aries is pure primal energy, right? That is creativity. And so you don't want to be doing so much for others that you forget who you are and what you actually want to create. But there is a balance here that needs to be worked on, where it's like we use that primal creativity that we have coming from us, but also in a way that serves others. Because with this Quincunx, both of these signs want to be happy, they want to be expressed, right? And so the ultimate like higher side of this Quincunx is being able to use both of these functions simultaneously. And that's going to vary with whatever planets you have these signs in, right? I'm just talking about the signs themselves and how this Quincunx can often manifest. But you want to like relate it to your personal situation by thinking about the planets that are involved in this, or if it's synastry, thinking about that as well. So ultimately, what we can have here is creativity that is actually utilized for service, ego energy that is actually used to help others. Okay. Also, we can have physical energy, sexual energy that is used for a healing purpose. So we can actually end up having like the energy of a healer with this Quincunx. And the physical body, because we've had to focus on it and there's maybe been issues balancing the two energies, we can end up being extremely healthy, extremely health conscious, kind of like a fitness influencer vibe with Aries, Quincunx to Virgo. First house, sixth house, right? So that can be the higher side of it. And also, yeah, I talked about the creativity and like the creativity being like so primal and from like that impulse, but also then like with the details to like apply it to your daily life. So mastery over the work, mastery over the self. Learning how to have self-love without egotism, because we can have just the right amount of criticism of ourselves that is actually not criticism, but like accurate perception of ourselves, because we have the Virgo telling the Aries what's really up with that precision, right? That detail that the Aries might miss. So in synastry, how this could play out is the Aries person's primal impulses feel at times judged by the Virgo planet person's need for detail. And the Virgo person, or the person with the Virgo planet, can feel like the Aries person is just kind of like a reckless, like, inconsiderate of health. Like, they can feel like they're like, even like dangerous or reckless as far as health goes. Like the Virgo could be like the germaphobe, and then the Aries is like, well, I don't care, I'll go lick a toilet. Like, not literally, but like that's just like an example. And it's sexually, the Virgo person could feel like a prude, and the Aries person is like the more experienced sexually. But it might not be that either. It could actually be that the Virgo person has more like technical experience, and the Aries person has more experience in impulsive actions sexually, if we're talking of Mars and Venus or something going on here. So, I mean, there's many manifestations of it, but ultimately the higher side of this is that the Aries person is going to lend the Virgo person some pure, like, primal, like, authenticity to just be in the moment. And the Virgo person is going to help the Aries person really, like, ground some of their energies and use their pure spark of life force for something, not just, starting a project and leaving it. Like, the Virgo person is going to help that Aries person ground and, like, do something with their creativity and their life. And while it might seem like maybe they're trying to bring down the Aries person at times, they're actually helping them see themselves more clearly, because that's something that Aries energy has a hard time with, is seeing the self. And the Aries person can help the Virgo person not get stuck in all the details and not get stuck in like the misery of the day-to-day tasks that they have to do, and actually be in the moment and be more spontaneous and fun, and really help them clear fear and clear worry, and give them the gift of inspiration that, like, everything's gonna be okay. That's a fire sign's energy, is like pure inspiration and intuition, teaching the Virgo energy how to trust their intuition more. So anyways, you guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this energy in the Quincunx aspect. Have you felt it like this? What's your experience of having a natal planet with these signs in conjunct or in synastry? What's your experience of it? I would love to know from you guys. And what do you think of this video? I just really felt like doing this. I feel like when we meditate on these differing energies in the Quincunx sign, we can really help to integrate this, which can be so hard to do without really thinking about it, So that's why I wanted to create these videos. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.